Hey guys, it's Miss Stevens. Today we're going to read a story from our reader Grace. The title of the story is called The Storm. Before we begin, we're going to go over the sounds and the way to spell those sounds. We're going to go over some vocabulary words and we're going to go over some sayings or phrases. So let's get started. First, we have the N sound spelled K-N. You've done this sound already, so let's see if you can read these words. Knees, knock, kneeling. We also have the S sound spelled with a C. Let's see if you can read these words. Winces, place. Then we have the S sound spelled CE, such as voices. Nice job. If you did that right, kiss your brain. We also have the S sound spelled SE, such as house. Nice job. I heard a lot of you get that one right. And then we have the K sound spelled CK, as in ducks. Very good. Blocked. Knock. And last we have our two-syllable words. Thunder. Darkness. Scamper. Shelter. Now let's look at some vocabulary words because some of those words may have looked unfamiliar to you. So let's go over what they mean. The first one is winces. So winces means makes a pained or scared face. So it's a face you would make when you're in pain or when you're scared. For example, Dad winces whenever he twists his ankle. The next vocabulary word is scamper. Scamper means to run or move quickly. For example, the mice scamper into the hole in the wall when they see our cat. So scamper means to run or move quickly. Shelter. Shelter is a place that covers or protects people and animals. For example, we had the picnic under the shelter when it started to rain. And here's sayings and phrases. Blocked out is our saying or phrase. For example, the clouds blocked out the sun right before the storm. So blocked out means that you covered something so it cannot be seen. So you're going to see this phrase in our story today. So let's go ahead and look at the story. The story is called The Storm. Even though you don't have your readers, it is found on page 26 in your reader. So let's go ahead and get started reading. Read along with me if you can. The storm. There is a big storm on the farm. Dark clouds have blocked out the moon and stars. So let's talk about these two sentences so far. I can tell what the setting is of my story. Go ahead and tell someone at home if you know what the setting is from those two sentences. Very good. I heard a lot of people say on the farm. I also know around the time it takes place because it says dark clouds have blocked out the moon and stars. So when does this story take place if the clouds are blocking out the moon and stars? Very good. If you said at night, kiss your brain. So the setting of our story is on the farm at night. Let's keep reading. Thunder booms in the darkness. Gusts of wind sweep past the barn. Grace is in bed with the book she got at the yard sale. She is not scared of the thunder. In fact, she likes it. So, how does Grace feel about the bad weather? Right, she likes it. It says next, she sleeps better when there is a storm. But Jill is not as brave as Grace. Just as Grace is drifting off to sleep, her sister yells in a scared voice. Grace jumps out of bed and runs into Jill's room. Jill is sitting up in bed. She is weeping and grabbing her legs. She winces when the thunder booms. Her knees knock when the wind gusts. So, based on what we've read, how do you think Jill feels about the bad weather? Yes, I think she's scared. Very good. Jill seems like she's scared of the bad weather. I wonder what Grace is going to do to make Jill feel better. What do you think Grace is going to do to make Jill feel better? Tell someone at home what you think she's going to do. Those are all really good predictions. Let's see if you're correct. What's the matter, Jill? Grace asks, kneeling next to the bed. I'm scared, says Jill. So we were right. Jill is scared of the bad weather. Grace hugs her sister and sits next to her on the bed. It's just a summer storm. We will be safe inside the house. Her big sister's words make Jill feel better. The hug helps too. So, what does Grace do to make Jill feel better? You're right. I'm hearing a lot of people say she gives her a hug. She gives her a hug and she also tells her everything's going to be okay. We're going to be safe inside the house. But there is still one thing that has her scared. I wonder what is the other thing that has her scared. Let's read on to find out. The ducks, she says, will they be safe out in the storm? Yes, Grace says. Those ducks are smart. When the thunder booms, they scamper off and take shelter. They will be just fine. Jill smiles and says, I am glad the ducks have a safe place to run to in the storm. That makes me feel better. So what else made Jill feel better? Right, knowing that the ducks were going to be safe made Jill feel better as well. So let's talk about the story that we just read. My first question for you is, how does Grace feel about the storm? Go ahead and tell someone at home, is Grace afraid of the storm? No, Grace is not scared of the storm. In fact, she likes the storm. She likes thunder. It says she is not scared of the thunder. In fact, she likes it. Here's my second question. How does Jill feel about the storm? If you said Jill's scared, kiss your brain. We can see in the picture here that Jill's scared. We can also see in the text that she's scared. It says she is weeping. She winces when the thunder booms. Her knees knock when the winds gust. And then we look here in her dialogue. She says, I'm scared. These are quotation marks. Remember those marks? I'm scared, says Jill. So Jill even tells us right here that she is scared. So what things does Grace do to make Jill feel better? Tell someone at home what Grace does to make Jill feel better. Right. I'm hearing you guys say she gives her a hug again and she tells her it's going to be okay. She says, it's just a summer storm. We will be safe inside the house. So, Grace's words make Jill feel better, but Jill is still worried about something. What is she worried about? Right, she's worried about the ducks. But what does Grace tell Jill that makes her feel better about the ducks? Very good. She tells her that they're going to be just fine. It says, they scamper off and take shelter. So there's those vocabulary words that we talked about earlier. Scamper off. It means they run off and they take shelter, so they find a good place to hide from the storm, someplace that will protect them, that will shelter them from the storm. Well, thank you for reading with me, guys. Continue to do your work. You guys are doing a great job on Google Classroom. See you later. Bye.